It's time for Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. And now your host, J. Bryan Nugen, estate planning and elder law attorney.
Good morning, and welcome to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. I'm attorney J. Bryan Nugen, founder of Nugen Law, and your host for our program. The purpose of our show is to have weekly, in-depth conversations about matters relevant to folks as they walk down the path of successful aging. Our listeners will learn what it is to age with dignity and how best to protect their money. I've been practicing law for 3 decades. I'm licensed to practice law in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida, and actively represent clients in all 4 states. My practice, the attorneys, and our interdisciplinary team of professionals who practice with me concentrate on working with clients in estate planning and elder law and areas related to them, such as protecting money from nursing home stays, securing benefits from programs including Medicaid and the VA, geriatric care coordination, estate and trust administration, guardianships, and planning for those with special needs. Nugen Law sees clients in many stages of life, but commonly we have folks reaching out when they or a loved one are showing signs of needing help. Those signs may include, and often include, a chronic ailment or progressive decline before, during, or after a hospitalization, an instance of incapacity, caregiver burnout, right? It's tough to care for a loved one. Stress on family members due to some or all of those instances I mentioned. So as a reminder, Nugen Law represents clients in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida. Nugen Law takes a life care planning approach to client representation, meaning that not only do our attorneys prepare any legal instruments appropriate for your unique situation, without additional cost, our clients have access to our affiliated CPA firm for their preparation of their tax returns, are invited to our client-only educational opportunities, have access to our Medicare specialist who advises on what Medicare plan and supplemental plan to secure, the ability to have your legal documents revised as necessary, and, when appropriate, unlimited access to our Elder Care Coordinator, or ECC. This is a person who assists with whatever help our clients may need as they age, including setting tours of various facilities, arrange for help in client homes, arranging moving and downsizing, and advocating for Nugen Law clients when necessary. If you hear something in today's broadcast which resonates with you, an area in which we may be able to help, please call Nugen Law at 260-925-3738. Speak with one of our intake specialists and schedule a meeting for either our Fort Wayne or Auburn locations. You are also encouraged to see us online at www.nugenlaw, nugenlaw.com. So today we have a familiar guest with us in the studio, Brian Grubb, or BG as we call him, the Elder Care Coordinator with Nugen Law. BG, welcome.
Good morning, Brian.
Great to have you here.
Yeah,
so let's explain to our audience the role of an Elder Care Coordinator from your standpoint at Nugen Law. What do you do as an ECC?
Elder care coordinators do a lot of different things for people. One of the things we do is help people through processes that we're assisting them through with Medicaid waiver, Money Follows the Person program, those types of things. Also help people with finding resources, whatever they're looking for. It could be an apartment, it could be assisted living, it could be memory care. So I help arrange tours, help people make decisions on maybe a proper way to go with their loved ones or their spouses, kids, parents. So helping with all those types of things, but helping them find answers to their issues or their problems. Mm-hmm. So,
have you been put in a situation where perhaps one of your clients was a resident of an assisted living facility or a nursing home or memory care unit, and there was some concern about what was taking place?
Yeah.
Have you been called upon in your role as an Elder Care Coordinator, ECC at Nugen Law, to step in and advocate?
Yeah, actually, quite a few times. In fact, just yesterday I was asked just recently some concerns at a assisted living facility. And so I contacted the executive director, the administrator, and talked with the director of nursing, went to a meeting yesterday. kind of a weird thing. I was supposed to be there meeting with a family member, and as I was getting off the elevator at the facility to go upstairs to meet with the individual, I was contacted by the daughter who told me that the mother had just fallen 5 minutes before I got there, broke her hip.
At the facility?
At the facility.
Oh, no.
And so anyways, I just told her, you do what you need to do. I'm going to go ahead and pursue the meeting. So I met with the administrator and the director of nursing, got good information. And the focus is on solving problems.
Right.
Because at facilities, there are going to be problems. But, my role is to, find out what they are, help people address it, and come up with solutions. Mm-hmm. And we did yesterday. So
excellent.
Yeah.
And then how do you then communicate that information to the family? How do you successfully mediate between the facility and the family?
Yeah. Well, the main thing is, I tell the facility and the family member, I'm there I'm an advocate for the individual, but I'm also there to just kind of help with kind of figuring things out. So as far as communication goes, already this morning I've contacted that individual, the family member, the daughter, and told her, we met, we worked some things out, we have some answers for you, but I'll communicate by phone, by in person. I go to meet the people in their own places, wherever they're living, meet the family members at their home if they need to, if they're busy or whatever. And then also, text message. I've been on my phone many times this morning, already text messaging multiple people, letting them know that I've seen their family members or what's going on with them. So anything that works good for the individual. So some people are very busy. So there's a family that I'm working with right now that I just ran into this family just recently. The mother is a person that I've already been working with over the years, and we're not currently working with her. One daughter lives in Indianapolis, one son lives in California, and the other daughter just got back from New Zealand for a stay.
Sure.
So setting up three-way conversations. I think our office did a Zoom meeting call with all those people yesterday to get things rolling. So
great. What's your experience been? How do people normally learn about working with an elder care coordinator at Nugen Law? Who refers clients to us, if you're aware?
Well, we get referrals, I think, from many different sources. Sometimes it's with me being out in the field, just communicating with people about what we do. And my role is very different. So most of the time people aren't really familiar with an elder care coordinator working with a law firm. Mm-hmm. So I tell them basically, what I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I do all sorts of things for families. So we get referrals through word of mouth. I think that's a huge thing. I know that there's already been many people that I've worked with that they've just liked our company's services, just the whole gamut of what we do for them. They'll just refer other people to our firm through them. So.
I would say, of course, we have advertising that we do, but really a vast majority of our clients are referral based.
Yeah.
That is really where the people are coming from. They've had a good experience with you.
And that's probably the best praise. And I always recommend to people, no matter what, if they don't use us, a lot of times I'll run into people and they'll just tell me their situation, or if we'll be at an expo fair or whatever, talking to people about what we do. Yep. And for us, it's just like, get this work done.
Sure.
Most everybody we talk to, if they haven't had it done or their business taken care of, settled, it's like, well, I've been meaning to do that. I'm like, get it done tomorrow. And I give them examples.
Move the ball forward.
Yeah. Yesterday, this family was fine. Today, it's not.
Right.
So just honoring that people mean well, but they don't get things done.
Sure. The biggest compliment to me is that, the client that gives me a hug on the way out the door. Uh-huh. And it's sincere.
Yeah.
Right. They are thankful. And I know that you have had that same from your clients. Yeah. And you really are a ray of light during a time that can be very stressful and very confusing.
Yeah.
And you, as their elder care coordinator, you're throwing them a lifeline. You're allowing them to be a spouse, a child, a grandchild, and not having to be in the trenches like you're doing for them. So I know that folks appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
When working with a new client, how do you get to know them, understand who they are and what needs they may have?
Yeah, really, I think the best thing for me, and it's always been this way in my social work career, is just meeting people face to face, finding things out about them to make it personal so that I don't want to, you're not just another client to me.
Right.
You're personal to me, and you matter to me. So meeting with them, finding out their story, finding out what's going on in their lives, and really putting myself in their place to feel like that when they hear suggestions from me, that they know that I am getting in touch with what their true needs are.
Coming
and
from the right
just knowing
place.
them. Yes, yeah. And letting them understand, like, it's their decision.
Of course.
It's their lives that are being affected.
You're
I'm not here.
You're giving them educated options.
Right.
Even when you're showing facilities to them,
Right.
BG, you may have an opinion about where you think a good fit for them would be at a certain facility.
Yeah.
You introduce them to
sure.
5 or 6 facilities, and they picked option 1, and you just knew they were going to pick option 5, but option 1 was it.
Yeah.
We had a good story recently. Somebody, euchre, right? Didn't they play euchre?
Yeah.
And that was,
yeah.
they had a euchre club there, and that was it. That was the deal.
And actually, I talked to this actually happened to me at the facility I was at yesterday, and I told them we talked about like what my role is, and I told them, I said one of the ladies that we have several people at this individual place, but this lady picked your place. I told them, I said, because when we were coming through, somebody mentioned to her that they have a euchre group.
Yep.
And that's what sold her.
That was it.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah.
But the point there is that it's custom to them.
Yeah.
What makes them comfortable.
Right. Right.
I remember years ago I had a client where they were in a particular facility, and frankly, it was just too highfalutin for them.
Yeah.
Lovely.
That happens
Everybody
a lot.
thought that this is where they were going to be.
Yeah.
It was just they didn't feel like they were with their people. And so we found a different facility that they were very happy with.
Yeah.
You may, from the get-go, you wouldn't have thought that would be the one, but it was appropriate for them and they were comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and a good example is we had somebody recently that went to a facility down in Anderson and met with them down there, talked to them, and after that gave them many options. This person actually ended up going to a facility in Warsaw when they were released from that place, and they're not happy there. So I met with the family on Tuesday morning, and we talked about, and I helped her just write it out. It's too confusing. There's too much. She's overwhelmed. So here, let's get a piece of paper. We're going to write down 6 different places for you to go. I'm going to organize it for you by location. Mm-hmm. You're going to go to these 3 first, then you're going to leave there, and you're going to go to these 3 other ones, Do what you can. And still felt overwhelmed by it. But I talked to her this morning. How'd it go? What'd you choose? And she chose a place that really, right now, I mean, it's a great place, but we haven't really had too many people go there.
Right, but for her, it was the right fit.
She told me it had a nice garden area that she thought her loved one would really enjoy.
Excellent.
And, long term, hopefully it'll be a good place. And she, because of the situation with this individual, she was asking me for some additional help with meeting with the administrator to find out if we can make this happen sooner than later. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what I'll do.
So ideally, BG, at what point in a client's aging process do you begin working with them?
Always the sooner the better. And everybody's situation is different. I mean, I was at an event the other day where people said, well, we don't need that right now. And I said, well, I gave them recommendation again.
Yep.
Don't wait till you need it.
Right.
Do it now. Go, even if you don't think it's in your life, like in 5 years. Go look at some places, Yep.
So
the sooner
yourself.
the better.
Educate yourself.
Yeah.
I think, too, the sooner that you get to know them as their elder care coordinator, you have a baseline understanding of them.
Yeah.
Who they are now, when they're healthy, their goals, what they do like, what they don't like, to understand their medical concerns, all of that. If you're able to address that early on and have a better understanding, you're not in that crisis mode or you're just scrambling.
Yeah.
The time to determine what facility to go to is not necessarily when you're being discharged from rehab and the hospital is saying you're going to be it's 10 a.m. You're going to be discharged at 12:30. Where do you want to go?
Right.
That is not the situation that you want to find yourself in.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And actually, those situations happen all the time.
I would say more. Yeah, too often.
Yeah. In fact, I gave a demonstration to somebody the other day. We talked about how things can change in just a matter of moments. And we talked a little bit about our life care planning kind of situation where don't wait till it's a crisis.
Right.
Do it now.
Yes.
You know? So, and those events happen all the time. And it's unfortunate, but it's just true. You know, what you think your life is going to look like is not always the way it turns out to be. No. And from moment to moment, it can change drastically.
Yeah. The road of life is not necessarily a straight line. No. Lots of dips and turns and construction, for sure. How do you develop and update personalized care plans for your clients at Nugen Law?
Well, I'm constantly in contact with them. That's the main thing, is kind of knowing what's going on with them. So I do an initial assessment, just kind of get to feel like, what is it that you're looking for? And I'm always asking them, what are your goals? You know, like, what do you need from us? Because when we first meet with people, we might have kind of an outline of kind of like what they're looking for, but that may change. So initially what I may work on with somebody is maybe just like, hey, let's get some help at home for you. Let's get get you started on the process of the Medicaid waiver program, or let's just see if there's some in-home health care that you can afford. Maybe it's just for one day, but over time, frequently that'll change. So we need to keep looking to see what your needs may evolve into. Mm-hmm. So maybe right now, like for an example, we got an individual that had a hard time in convincing them to get some home health care. Finally get some home health care. And maybe you're only using a few hours, but we really think, that you should, and would benefit, your family would benefit from additional hours. So really constantly just kind of eyeballing and sometimes actually pushing a little bit to say, hey, I want to look for the future here. Let's do some work now.
Right.
To get what you need. Right. You may not even think or may not even want it right now, but let's think about what will happen if you don't get that help.
Sure. So I recognize that all of your Nugen Law clients are unique with individualized needs, individualized goals. However, is there a commonality which you see running through your clients?
Well, I think there's a lot of commonalities. I mean, every situation is different, but I think a lot of the commonalities are just people in need and don't know how to really work through the system, don't know the questions to ask, don't know who to turn to. So that's a big thing. They've never done this stuff before. Mm-hmm. It's never been part of their lives before. So they're kind of traveling without a roadmap a lot of times.
Right.
So
yeah, and with your experience, you're giving them that roadmap. Yeah. You're laying that out for them. So a natural question which listeners to our broadcast may have today is, how much does the service of an elder care coordinator and ECC cost? BG. Your services are paid in a value-based flat fee annually, and your clients have unlimited access to you. So do you find not having to track your time or the client having to worry about each time they need assistance? They're worried about, how much is this phone call going to cost? How much is this visit from BG going to cost? I feel that it benefits your clients so they don't have to worry about having to pay more and more as their level of care increases. Have you had that same experience?
Yes. Well, the bigger thing for me is encouraging people to use. We have some people that use me almost every day. Right. Like right now, I can tell you a handful of people that call me regular or once a week. And then we have some people that I don't really interact with a whole lot, or maybe I'm just visiting their family member, at the place. But what's really nice, I think, for them is to know, like, no matter what they need, I'll be there for them. And it's not going to cost them more. So I have to encourage people sometimes just to say, hey, you need me or you need the attorneys, go get them. You've already paid for it. It's not a no worry for you. And truly, that is a worry. Even when they already have like, that resource.
Is this real?
Yeah.
It's true.
So many times I have to remind them,
It's
you
okay.
have it. Call them.
Use it. I say the same thing. My gosh, take advantage of all those services that we offer for that value-based flat fee. Why would you not take advantage?
Yeah.
And I do think what's interesting, though, is that I have not found people taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Even though it's unlimited, they can have access to the attorneys, to the support staff, to UBG as their ECC. Yeah. They really are reaching out when they need something and not wasting your time or not calling for things that are irrelevant. They really are respecting what you're doing for them and what the firm is doing for them.
Yeah, and they do appreciate that opportunity, I think, for the most part. They do just honor. But they need encouragement sometimes. But I think they really do appreciate, I know that I can call and I'm not going to have any, the clock is not running.
And I think sometimes it's that confidence that, I am making the right decision, or I'm reaching out to somebody that's very well versed in this area, and you're giving them that assurance that, this is appropriate. Yeah. Or what you're feeling or what you're experiencing is not good. Yeah, and you're not overreacting.
Right.
This isn't how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Amen to that. Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. And like we talked about just the other day, I gave an example where this family member was really feeling guilty and wants to bring mom home, and I think with that person, I just reassured her that it was okay, and I think she felt much better just after the phone call, just saying when she really looked at it from an outsider standpoint. And not the guilt of being a family member. It was like, you're making the right decision.
She's where she needed to be.
Yeah, she really is where she needs to be. And I think that's just helpful to get that from an outsider, not just a professional, but somebody that's seen this, observed this with many, many people. And there's a confidence in just hearing that, like, you're okay with it.
You're okay. Yeah. So as a reminder to our listeners, Nugen Law represents clients in Indiana, Ohio, Michigan, and Florida. We take a life care planning approach to client representation, meaning that not only do our attorneys prepare any legal instruments appropriate for your unique situation, without additional cost, our clients have access to our affiliated CPA firm for preparation of their tax return, are invited to our client-only educational opportunities, have access to our Medicare specialist who advises on what Medicare plan and supplemental plan to secure, the ability to have your legal documents revised as necessary and when appropriate, and then unlimited access to BG, our elder care coordinator, a person who assists with whatever help our clients may need as they age for any number of things. So if there's an area that you are hearing about today that you would like to explore a little bit more, please give us a call, 260-925-3738. Speak with one of our intake specialists and get a meeting set up either in our Fort Wayne or our Auburn locations. So BG, what are some of your most challenging cases and how did you navigate those challenges?
I think some of the most challenging cases are when individuals are, a couple of things. One, when there's issues with differences in family members' views, I think sometimes that can be a real problem. I think sometimes you might have one family member that really has one kind of goal, kind of direction with a family member, and another family member has a little different or a lot different kind of, and sometimes it's related to death, long-term care. It could be those kind of things. I think another situation, difficult situation, is just when it's just hard to get things done. Sometimes things are out of your hands, or sometimes you might have a family or an individual that might need a level of care, and we need things to happen sooner than later. So navigating those kind of things, or just take advocacy, times when you can just really push. For example, this morning, just that I'm going to be reaching out to an administrator at a facility that I know and say, hey, let's give this guy a chance. You have some barriers here, but let's talk about why this would work. And just being, again, solution-focused and positive thinking, not like, why this won't work.
I do think when it's not a family member, when you're not in the middle of it, you can be more objective. You can really see the situation, and you're able to create solutions for them.
Right.
that they may just not be able to see because they're so overwhelmed.
Yeah. And sometimes, frankly, the truth is, sometimes people don't really want to see that there's a solution.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm here to say, okay, let's put that aside. Let me figure that out for you. So.
In your role as an elder care coordinator at Nugen Law, who are you working with to benefit your clients? Healthcare providers, facility directors, family members, and if so, in what capacity? Yeah,
really, my toolbox really carries pretty much everybody in that.
Yeah.
And so every situation can be different, but I do work with administrators, nursing, staff at facilities, resources in the community, like if somebody needs some help with moving stuff or they're not sure what to do with all their stuff or who to donate to. Again, the people that I use are pretty much limitless, and every situation is different. So I could call somebody, somebody we're working with right now that's just moved somebody out of their household. What do we do with these things? I don't really like to even see these items in the house. Okay, let me help you with that. So getting them connected to a resource that will help them get rid of that stuff and benefit somebody else too. So administrators, a lot of times, is just kind of getting to know them and what they can do for you. And again, not to be a burden to them, but knowing when to use them. So for me, I don't want to wear out people that I have in the community. I want them to know too that I'm going to come to them when I really need their help.
Sure.
And same thing for them. I always offer, please, if you need anything or have any questions about what we do or elder care law, let me know and we'll connect you to people.
Excellent.
So.
How do you ensure effective communication and collaboration among the various parties we just talked about involved in a client's care?
Well, for me, it's mostly follow-up. So I can initiate something, but I want them to know, too, that I'm not just going to let it end there.
Right.
So I'm going to follow up. So I follow up with both sides of the part, whatever parties I'm working with. If it's a family or family members, I communicate with them. And I also follow up like, hey, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to check in with them on that. And I do. And so then I get back with that family member. So one example recently is trying to help an individual track down some pension benefits. His wife just passed away. Hey, so-and-so, I'm going to check with them. I'm going to get you the information. And then if you don't hear from them, I'm going to call back with you or get a call back with you. Hey, so-and-so, on Monday or Tuesday, I contacted this individual. Did you hear back from them?
Right.
Not yet. Okay, if you don't hear back from them by Friday, let me know because I'm going to follow up and figure that out for you.
Well, I think you're providing that consistency and follow through that folks appreciate and respect, and it assists them and it takes a huge burden off of them and their family members and loved ones.
I try. And sometimes people just get worn out. They just get tired. They're just kind of...
Well, it's not necessarily their area. It's something you deal with and you've dealt with for years in the community and as a social worker. And so it's not the case of first impression for you.
Yeah.
And for them, it's overwhelming because they're not sure. So you're there as a lifeline.
Yeah.
Can you give an example of a change or an improvement you implemented based upon a client feedback? So a client said, I'm not enjoying the situation, or this isn't working out for me like I thought it would have. Is there something you can think of where you implemented to benefit that client?
Well, I can think of times when individuals have moved to a place and that I have stepped in to help make it a better situation for them at that facility. One specific time would be like if maybe somebody was moved into a place and there was an issue with a neighbor or noise,
Sure.
Again, again, that's just going to happen at places, but in helping an individual understand that, but also helping them to be advocates for themselves. So a lot of times, what I do is not just solve the problem for them, but help them to be part of that solution.
Sure.
So,
integrate that.
Yeah.
BG, what type of feedback do you receive from clients and their families about services you provide? We've just got a few seconds left.
Well, I just want to say that what we do with this position is so unusual for a law firm that the feedback I get is generally just that thank you so much for all the help that you give us, and just the appreciation that they have somebody in their corner.
Mm-hmm. So our time is running short. We need to wrap up our discussion with BG, the Nugen Law Elder Care Coordinator. Thank you, Bryan, BG, for coming in today. Give us a call at Nugen Law if you have any questions, 260-925-3738. And thank you for listening to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. Enjoy your weekend.
You've been listening to Preserving Your Dignity and Your Money, Planning for Successful Aging with Nugen Law. For more information, log on to NugenLaw.com or email help@NugenLaw.com. Nothing stated in today's program should be considered as legal advice, should not be considered as having created an attorney-client relationship between show host and guests and any listener. Nugen Law is not liable for anything that happens as a result of a listener relying on provided information as legal advice. The content is for informational purposes only.
Podcasts by Federated Media.